Okay, cool. Any other questions? Moving around back there? You're going to look through and see if you have some stuff in there. Let me try to...
Did you have anything else you wanted?
Well, I'll go get the exam when you guys are done with your random questions, and I'll flip through it. You want me to just go get the exam?
Yeah.
Give us the answers.
Yeah! No, I'm not going to give you the answers,
Okay,
but you can
just
ask me questions while I'm looking at it.
You can answer.
Yes, then I don't have to worry about stepping on your hand.
There's somebody in it right now. If you go through the desk, right, it's like you're going towards the garage.
There's a speech regulation. Prior restraint.
I am so tired. It's only 8:45, and I'm like dying.
In the summarize form, too.
I still have
What was it? Everything was...
What? Oh, wait,
You wanted
all right, I'm looking at the instructions. One thing I hadn't told you is this is going to be closed, everything. No, closed. The exam is a closed book, closed note.
Oh, yeah.
If I wrote an open book, open note, they would have a whole lot more of those evil details in it.
It not being that.
All right, let's see.
What's the first question?
There's an honor code certification at the end of the exam. Don't miss that. That's basically you signing that you didn't cheat. And if you forget to sign that, I just get to write an F here and not grade it. So just be sure to read the instructions and don't miss things like that. Print your name legibly. I did get an exam or two with no name over the course of the several semesters. I now stand over and make sure that there's names on everything. All right, so holding it in front of me, and I'm looking. I mean, there are lots of.
There are questions on regulated speech, like prior restraint.
Well, there's. Let me just go back and take a look. Out of these 50, I will tell you, I tend to write questions that require you to apply the information. So if you understand what the First Amendment, say, protects, then it really doesn't matter what the question is. You'll get it. What did we not talk about here at the review that I just looked through here to see? Copyright. There's definitely several questions involving intellectual property. And you should make sure you are familiar with exceptions to the copyright liability. Your primary exceptions: fair use, and you guys make sure you know what these are. So fair use, parody, library. There's the first. Jamie, did you go over first sales? Did you go over first sales with them in class?
First sales, yes.
Okay, because that's I saw it on the exam.
I mentioned it. You don't have time to go into depth on any of these things. So in intellectual property, hit those big lists that are in your book, and know that they may be called something slightly different. Like you have subject matter is what I call it. In the book, they call it the categories of protection. You know that
What's the
literary works, music. There's eight of them. Know the list because I don't have to research it. If I sit down for 5 minutes, I'll come up with 8 of them.
Right.
But you probably only need to have 6 or so on the test. Right?
No, but understand what is capable of having intellectual property protection.
Right. I call them subject matter. The book calls them categories.
Yes, that would be your musical compositions. That would be your sculpture, your art. Those things that can be protected. Yeah.
Original works.
What is first sales? I don't.
That's exactly the first sales. That would be if I buy a CD.
Oh, yeah.
I can sell that CD.
Yeah.
I'm allowed to sell that at a yard sale. I'm allowed to give it away.
Yard sale was the example I used in class.
Okay,
right.
If you buy a DVD or a CD at a yard sale, that's okay, because first sales intends that to happen.
That you could actually transfer your ownership. And that's okay, even though theoretically only the copyright holder can distribute. You can sell the one that you've got, yeah.
Are the time shifting and space shifting part of that too?
Cool. They are, well, they're not actually, are they considered exceptions?
That's fair use.
Yes, that's under
use?
fair use, exactly.
Oh, okay.
They're under fair use. And you guys remember what they are, right?
Yeah.
Time shifting is when you record something to watch it later.
Bingo.
Space shifting
Space
is when
shifting.
you are going to, you record something so that you can enjoy it in another place. That
That
included-
No.
shifting it.
Both are.
Both are fair
Time
use.
shifting, space shifting. The new one that's not in the book but is place shifting. That's like your sling box. Does anyone know what a sling box is?
Yeah.
So that
We've got one in our bedroom, we
yeah,
can show
that's
you.
new stuff. But
Well, just
on the
record
test,
down
it'll be
there.
time shifting, space shifting.
Slingbox is another computer device where my husband, like when he's traveling on business,
Oh, you can stream from
he
your
can
home
get to the
computer.
You
internet
can watch
and go
your TV
and go
wherever
and
you
connect
are.
to my
That's
house.
all.
Like Orb or something like that.
so
Place
he can
shifting.
actually control our direct TV satellite from somewhere else and then over the computer watch stuff that we've recorded or watch what's currently on TV.
Never been legally challenged, and
You're recording
and it wouldn't be because it's still that one-to-one basis.
Only if
You're
you're on
only
the
watching
angle.
your
I think
TV.
you're off right
I
now.
can see a blinking light.
You can see the green light, but it's aimed at kind of that door right there.
Okay.
But we have a sign outside that says premises subject to
But you're in
electronic
your town, so
surveillance.
you can do it.
Yeah, and we have hidden cameras all over the place. We've got one out there, one outside pointing
kids
at,
ever
one
have
on the
a
roof
wild
pointing
party,
Go
out.
to the metronome.
We've got one over in the kitchen window. There's not one in the metronome.
Oh, is there anything else that we have to cover?
I'm looking right now. You guys got, let's see, do you understand fair use? That's your time shifting, space shifting. Let me go back to this list here. It's on the exam. Parody, that's your Saturday Night Live or anything like it. Weird Al Yankovic. Library, do you guys remember what the library exception was? That's
Yeah.
when you make a copy to protect your valuable original, and you just store your valuable original somewhere. And a lot of facilities are allowed to do the library thing, and it's not just them. If I've got some valuable vinyl out in my garage in a cardboard box, my old LPs. And sooner or later, I'm going to have my husband go and digitize all of them. They make those little boxes now where you can play your records and turn them into MP3s. But the records themselves, once they get scratched or melted, they're toast. They're nothing. Not even collector's items anymore. So
Isn't there like a teaching one?
there is
Yeah.
a teaching one. We hadn't gotten to that one. This question didn't have teaching as one of the choices. So.
Don't worry about it.
Okay.
But yes, and then the teaching would be, for example, when we played 30 seconds of a song, of 2 songs, so that we could teach you about copyright infringement, right? When you're quoting somebody else's work. And then you still do attribution, but nobody's going to be upset about that. George Harrison would never be upset that a college professor was playing this song in class.
Your own personal library.
You know? And if you're ever in doubt, like you can't remember the exact words, think in your head, ask yourself this question: would the copyright owner be upset at this use?
I think she may have
If the answer is no, it probably fits within one of these exceptions, and you should try to figure out which one. But commit to your memory those exceptions to copyright. So we have fair use, parody, library, first sales, teaching.
Maybe I should mention that to her. There is
Sorry.
a difference. You kind of mix together the library with the fair use. When you make
No, I
your
didn't.
own personal backup,
Right.
that's not the library because you are not a professional. I mean, a city library. The library can make a copy that many people
Can use.
can use. You can make a copy for yourself that you can use. That's fair use. The library can make a microfiche copy or a digital copy that many people will use, but only in the library.
Or they can check them out,
Yeah.
because they will not check
Yeah.
out their originals. They'll keep their...
Yeah. Well, they usually check out the original, but but the library can make a microfiche backup, absolutely, and they do get audited. There are organizations that will come in and check libraries to make sure they're following good copyright practices. Usually, just like a CPA firm would come in and audit a company for their bookkeeping. Most libraries hire a third-party auditor, will come in and check out their copyright procedures and make sure they're following all the
Just
rules.
to make sure I understand, is that kind of what like church indexing falls under?
Well,
Well,
a lot
not
of
necessarily.
that stuff is already
Public
public
record.
domain anyway.
Oh, okay.
I mean, and that's like in the library, if you're making copies of an old book that's already in public domain, that can be different.
Right.
So,
Oh, and don't get tricked by that either. If it's a piece of Mozart music,
life of the author plus 70, Mozart's
Mozart's
died.
been dead for way longer than
Many,
70
many
years.
70 years.
So it's not that. It would be, now if there was somebody, let's rock me Amadeus, you know, where you've got Mozart themes running through a rock song, that's different. Rock me Amadeus has got a whole lot of new stuff. Barry Manilow has a song, Could It Be Magic, where the whole beginning of the song is Chopin's Prelude in C minor. And if you look at the sheet music, and I've actually got the sheet music, is it in this one? Well, it doesn't matter. If you look at the sheet music, the whole first page is Chopin's Prelude in C minor. It's right there in front of you. In that pile, they're arranged alphabetically. But and that's okay, because Chopin has been dead for a long time. Barry Manilow can completely eat his song and put it in his song, and then he has this whole melody where it's the variation on theme. Are you taking off, Kathleen? Do you want the quiz?
She took it,
Oh, you actually took it and
and I
answered
have
it?
it.
Is it
Cool.
easy?
You can answer that question. Easy or not?
Medium.
Medium. It'll be easier the longer you stay and the more questions
How
you
long
ask.
are we gonna stay?
Come on.
How long are we gonna stay?
You can stay as long as you like.
But when's the quiz gonna take place?
Whenever you want it. I'll take we can like break.
Somebody will stay
Sweetheart.
here until 11 o'clock tonight.
Honey,
We won't
hand me
kick
one
you
of
out.
those
Actually, we'll
quizzes.
enjoy it.
Hand me one of the quizzes. One of the students asked me if we've covered everything on it yet, and I don't know. I have three separate exam review quizzes, A, B, and C. I think I printed out C for you guys. And I just want to look at one of them and see.
I'm like, I'm a sleeper, so.
And let me just see if we've covered everything on here. Oh, did we cover that? Yeah, I think we did. Okay. Exceptions to copyright law. Definitely IP. There's 2 or 3. Some of them, like you can't read it from here, but like number 1 is truth, falsehood. Number 2 is multiple choice with 5 choices. Number 3 is a short answer. Name